4, 3, 2. All right, we're live. So I'm just going to go over what the purpose of this is real quick. We're doing preludes, whatever you want to call them. I always say it wrong. For some of the characters as we begin this campaign. Knock out some of the bugs as well for us to get used to playing with each other and in character and, just doing all that. The main thing here, though, that I'm really trying to do is in the Stonewalkers campaign, I felt like the opening was a bit weak. It lacked a lot of the Brandon Sanderson backstory, feel that I think is what really does an awesome, creating character moments and immersion in the Stormlight archive. So we're going to try to replicate that a little bit as best as you can on a podcast or, video cast or whatever you want to call it online. But today we're going to be starting off with Yuron. Is that how we pronounce that?
Yeah, that's fine. You're on. Yuron.
Yeah. So, I think we might be having some technical difficulties here on my stream. Let me see. Oh, wonderful. You son of a bitch. All right, and we're back. Sorry about that, guys. Anybody who's listening, you just had to put up with about 30 seconds of me not knowing what was going on, but I'm back. All right. So tell us a little bit about Euron. Euron, what we see when we see him, and just some outward-facing notes of what you'd like people to know about him before we start your story.
He's big, even in sense of Alethi terms, quite large, kind of grayish skin, much like a Natin, but almost grainy, I would say. And that's really just it. Just large, Natin toned.
Yeah. So just kind of like a big, muscular, grayish, stone style skinned, not stone, but kind of like a grainy cast to it.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're going to open up here, and obviously there's some implications of what this means, that are pretty early on set here for anybody that's listening. But you are standing on this like this obsidian shimmering platform in Shadesmar. Above you, you can see the lines of clouds running across the sky towards this light off in the distance that wraps out across this strange black void. It's a strange geometric structure, a little bit different than most of the platforms that you have seen as you are making your way to this point. So, as you approach this platform to make entrance through this gate, you see these two massive spren standing out over top of the gate that opens up into these strange kaleidoscopic, almost like shimmering pools that are above you. And there's a line of people that are standing there. There aren't many of them, but there are a few. And as they move forward, there are these large humanoid, almost rock-like people that are examining different forms of identification and paperwork and credentials. And they have these, some of them have these almost I don't even know what the right word for it is. I guess like a Magitech style device that they're using to go over people. There's this, some of them have these cubes that are emitting light as they seem to be scanning the person. And you would actually know what these are. And they are... Give me an insight roll real quick. All right. A 4. Okay. So you're probably not exactly sure what they're doing with these. It could be a number of things. You recognize the device, but they're scanning for something. So as you approach, some people are moving forward. You hear some discussions going on between people, and the one of the attendants walks up towards you. You know, it's just this weird arid stone platform, and there are structures built out of a strange cobbling of uh, different materials that you would find within the physical realm. And the dress that these people are wearing is a bit strange. Most of these spren that you see are wearing what seems to be like clothing that is made out of their own material, the matter that they are made of. But some of them have some other strange adornments, like hats. You recognize one of them is wearing a bowler cap. Another one of them has a strange belt on that you don't recognize. And ahead of you, there is a man that has a small caravan, and on it you see he has two birds, and he's being checked. And as he's being processed, you see him exchanging some currency with the attendant that's in the line that you're in, and he passes on. Give me a quick perception check. Okay. Yeah, so as you look ahead at this man, he has a dark, almost grayish brown complexion, and you notice that his eyebrows are these strange, long eyebrows that wrap around behind his ears. He's wearing like a greenish vest and clothes that seem to be, relatively nice. You recognize this as a Rosharan style fashion, and he moves along up through one of the pools, and you see as he is conveyed through the exit into the perpendicularity, he kind of disappears into the void. You move forward. The Spren looks at you and begins to look you over, and he holds out a hand. Hey, brother, papers, please.
Yuron's gonna look kind of down slightly, just kind of giving him what he was handed. He's gonna go, absolutely. Here you go. As he slowly shakes, slightly handing him his booklet that he was given.
Sure. So you see this massive stone creature. It's not much larger than you, actually. It's about the same size. And even though you are a very large man in stature, this thing is just massive, statuesque, and almost like a rough style carving. It looks pretty crude to you compared to some of the other statues and things that you would have seen, but it has humanoid and almost like a warm style of manners as it's looking through things. And he looks up at you and he sees a little bit of your uncertainty, your nervousness, and he's like, "Hey, you good, brother?"
Yes, I'm a little thrown back by all of this. Was not expecting as many people here.
Yeah, this place where you go inside is your first time.
Yes, yes.
Give me a
I
deception. Give me a deception roll, real quick, just to give me a bit of a baseline for how you're portraying your character's, attitude. Okay. Okay. So he gives you a very strange look, like a deeply appraising look, and he hands off the booklet to another one of these spren that's working in the line that you saw them kind of go. This was a spren that was doing the processing of the other person, and you see him taking the device, kind of scanning your papers and going over everything, and he just kind of gives you a look. Let's see how this goes. So you can see he looks a bit confused as he is looking at you a bit more. Maybe I need to ask you a few questions.
But of course, whatever questions you would like.
You seem to be a bit uncomfortable. I feel like you feel maybe you'll be hiding something.
Not hiding. I see many kinds of other people here, not many mine, and
Roll a plot
all of
die.
these.
Roll a d6 for me. You're gonna have 3 plot die. I'm gonna use one of your plot dies right now because you rolled a nat 1. So let's see how this goes. That's a custom roll of a 0. Give me a. Give me
Oh,
a.
no. It's a plot die roll. If you hit raise the stakes, a 0 is a blank. It'll tell you if it is red and the 2 or 4 in it, and it'll also tell you if it is blue.
Oh,
Um,
on my screen it just shows up as a white box with 0 in it.
yeah. Watch. I'll click it again. It probably won't be another 0 because I'll be raising the stakes again.
Yeah.
Let me hit raise the stakes and roll again.
So
Hang on.
weird. What's it showing up on your end as?
There you go.
There we go.
So, but the first two were blank rolls. So that's how it shows up if I would have gotten a consequence.
Okay.
So technically, I didn't get anything in the first one, but Roll20 integrated this, and this is pretty cool because it'll tell you if you got the +4 or the +2. So.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, basically, is it not? And this is while we're learning here. A 1 or a 2 is a a consequence, and a 5 or a 6 is a opportunity.
That's correct. But if you hit raise the stakes on the demi-plane sheet, it will roll like this because the modifier for the 1 and 2 will automatically be on here and it shows red. If you roll blue, it'll automatically just show blue. And then these are just the middle numbers are the blank numbers.
Okay.
If you pull up a character sheet and hit raise the stakes, yours will do the same thing. But if you want me to roll a d6 instead, we can.
Yeah. I mean, this is fine for now. This is good. And for those of you that'll be using Roll20 to do this, you can have just learned that as well. So I'm sure I'll figure it out as we go along, but that just seems... I'm not quite sure I totally understand how that's working, so I'll have to play with it a little bit. But, I mean, basically, so what we're looking at here is there was nothing. Nothing happened.
Yes, it was a middle
Gotcha.
option.
Okay. So he's going to go over it again, and he's going to look back at the other attendant who goes over your paperwork, and you see the device that he's scanning it with kind of it's having some sort of malfunction, and it's going over your paperwork, and the other person walks back over next to the one that you're talking to. This is a female, one of these rock spren, that begins to speak with you, and she's like, the paper seem to have some problem. You are from Scadrial?
Yes.
What is your
I'm
business?
sure. I'm but a messenger. I have no business of my own. I merely am a messenger from Scadrial here.
What is message you bring?
I not know.
You do not
It's
know
not my-
message you bring? How you messenger you know no message?
All I am to do is to find somebody here and let him know that he is needed back on Scadrial. That is it. And I will return back to Scadrial.
This man you talk to is friend of yours? You know him?
My employer?
He's your employer.
Is that who you speak of? The man who sends me here, not friend.
I mean, man you meet here know your employer. He no give you message. You do not know him. So is the
No
man
employer from Scadrial.
employer from Scadrial? Man, and they start talking to each other a little bit. Yeah, the paperwork is good. Yeah. All right, you let this man go. He has no belongings with him other than the clothes he's wearing. All right, Scadrian, you may enter, but we will watch you as long as you live in the peaks.
You tell me I must stay at the peaks?
No, while you are here, we will send message for those on the other side to watch you.
Oh, very well. I could use someone to guide me through this land. Very strange. Everything.
Yeah, that's true. Things here are very weird, but it is just how it is. Different worlds, different places are all strange. But so you good now, kind. Walk carefully. The peaks be watching you.
And then I just want to give a polite nod, um, and just walk past.
So he hands you the book. Here is your book. He is good, so you may go. So he conveys you through the entry. Uh, you are pulled through this strange like tunnel of light as you find yourself being pulled up into you're underwater and you emerge out of this small pool, probably about the size of, I don't know, maybe the width of it is 20 or 30 feet wide. And as you're coming up, a couple of these strange men that appear to be similar in build and size and posture to the rock people that you saw on the other side are reaching down and grabbing your things and helping you pull yourself out of the water.
Thank you. Much appreciated. Don't do well in water.
No, what the A? They kind of like laugh to each other, and one slaps you. Hey, this boy don't like the water. Come on, you go back to village over the hill over there.
When he smacks me, strong one. I like it. Very, very tough. Rugged.
Yeah, you big too. You like not like the man from down below. You get out to the world down here, you will see how small they get. They kind of like chuckle with each other, and help usher you up to this pathway. And you see on the hills around this area, there are guards that have bows all around. And there are watchtowers that are like carved into the side of the mountains. And as you look out across the expanse here, you see this almost like paradise, kind of like in the basin, but more tropical. And as you look out across, you see tropical trees. There are birds. There are large areas of open water that are emitting the steam, and you can hear the sound of like almost like a bubbling or boiling sound off in the distance. It almost sounds like a hiss. And they're off to your off to your northeast. It's in the northwest. I'm sorry, the northeast part of the village. Holy crap, get directions right here, bro. Northeast of you, there's a large village. And you know that this is where you're supposed to be meeting your the person that's meeting you.
They did tell me when I arrived I would be greeted with plentiful, so bright, so beautiful. Is that aroma I smell?
It is the food. It is good here in the peaks.
Smell is phenomenal. I need to meet a friend in town somewhere. Is there a place where I may go and have some of this delicious smell that I have?
Yes. There are shops all over town where you can get something to eat. It is plentiful. Just be careful, this area is very guarded. You should not carry yourself in a way that seems threatening.
Threatening, no. All I wish to do is fill my belly and meet an old friend.
Yeah, true, brother. Shoots, go ahead into the town and find your way.
As I leave him, I want to look at him real quick and notice his simple garb and go, "Hey, big one. You know where I could possibly get something a little more comfortable. These ones I've been wearing for a while, kind of not so anymore.
Yeah, your clothes, he look different here. You will stand out. You should go ahead in town. There'll be shops there for all kinds. You find clothes kind of like I wear. See? He is local. Maybe not what you want outside of the peaks, but many shops you can find all sorts of things.
Good
Please,
day then, sir.
yes, make your way up there. Do not make any sudden movements. We watch from the side of the mountains. The arrows, they don't like you, I think.
Arrows no like nobody. I will keep my head down and I will enjoy this aroma around me. I will try to blend in smoothly with you.
Enjoy
Thank you,
your
brother.
time in the peaks.
And then I wish to just head toward town.
Yeah. So as you enter the town, you see a number of shops on the edge. This path that you walk along, there are a number of guards and different people that clearly look to be military. You can see a familiar sight of obsidian blades, very large great swords that are flat on one side, almost like a cleaver style blade. On the backs of these men, they have a quiver of arrows that you probably would assume also have obsidian style arrows. Um, and as you make your way into the town, at the edges of the town, you see some small shops that are set up that are obviously set there in a way to convey you into the town, and that these folks that are working here are prepared for visitors. Um, you don't see too many other people here that appear to be from off world or out of town, but there are occasionally you'll see someone wearing clothing that doesn't appear to be the same style that the Unkalaki have worn, or even that you are familiar with in Scadrial.
You said I don't see anyone from Scadrial?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't appear to have anyone here from Scadrial.
Well, in that case, there's only a few places someone from Scadrial will go. But, and as I look down at what was given to me, my 6 marks from my exchange of what Scadrial currency was to here, I just want to walk over to a small stall and just ask how much. Um, do I see any, like, other than the weapon and armor? Because my 6 marks probably aren't going to get me far with that. Um, is there anything like food wise that I can see around as well, or something cheap, simple costing?
There. Yeah. I mean, give me a perception roll real quick. Just as you're entering town and passing through some of these shops, and the smells and sights that you're seeing are probably pretty overwhelming, but maybe we can kind of narrow things down as you're making your way to the area that you're the point where you're meeting your handler. Yeah, so you're able to identify like pretty easily a couple of shops on the side of things. There are different stews and grilled meats and things like that are on some of these carts. There are people. They don't seem to be going out of their way to call for you. Um, they seem to be relaxing and having conversations with each other. It's not very aggressive in the way that they're selling, but you can see it written on some signs and things that are sitting around as you are making your way into here. There are a couple of shops selling different Unkalaki style clothing and more simple style things that look almost like antiquated Scadrian clothing with some different design elements that you're not used to. And it would probably be pretty evident that this is more of like a traveler style clothing that would be probably used by more, common type folks.
I just want to go over to one of the soup stands and just ask them, um, you know, give me the cheapest bowl of soup you got. I just want something to walk around with and ease my nourishment. and I was told your guys' food here was excellent.
Yeah, welcome. This is he starts shelling it out. You see little like bits of what look like shrimp, kind of the shrimp shells floating in the concoction. There's a bit of like an almost red, oily, uh, like grease settling at the top of it, and a number of basically familiar ingredients like some potatoes and maybe some other fruit or vegetables that have been chopped up inside of it. It has a not an overly strong aroma, but it does smell of spices and different ingredients that are not familiar to you. He also hands you a piece of what appears to be almost like a flatbread that has been highly roasted on one side, and the other side has this soft, almost like pastry type texture to it. And he hands it to you. One muck.
I'm gonna give him the mark, and then as I give it to him, I just want to ask him, um, where would visitors usually go when entering here? I have seen a couple when I came in, and then it seems more local afterwards. Where do visitors meet?
Roll insight real fast.
Insight.
Okay. You notice that when you hand him the mark, he seems extremely happy, and he kind of pockets it. And you see him looking at one of the other workers, and they just kind of chuckle a little bit. But let's see here real fast. Meets it, beats it. You realize that you may have just been made, or had been had by this price. But perhaps you can kind of use that as leverage now that you know that this was what's going on and you're asking him for some information. This might be a good opportunity to kind of lean into that a little bit. He begins to like rub his chin, which is devoid of hair. His sideburns are kind of like grown in to these like flowing, sweeping sideburns on either side of his head, and he has like this almost reverse mohawk cut into his scalp, which seems to be a common hairstyle for these folks.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look at him and go as I take a bite. Very delicious. So about the information of travelers, where do they usually meet up? And I'm gonna eye him kind of in a suspicious manner because of what he just did, but I'm also gonna be like, no, taking advantage of nice people will always turn around in the end. Harmony will always be watching.
He smiles at you. This one, he is smart. He looks at his friend, who's over there. You see him just kind of like chopping up different like tuber vegetables and some fresh fruits and things like that hanging out. And he just kind of nods at him, and they look back and forth. And I think what you're looking for is there is courtyard in northeast of town. You can go there. I think that is where most people meet up.
I'll take another big bite of my soup, kind of drink it down a little bit. Very well.
He's going to look down at your shoulder. Actually, hold on one second real quick. Where is your tattoo? I've given you a little bit of a...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would say probably right on my forearm,
Okay.
but probably high up where if I wore no, because with my garb, I would still want it to be. I would say it on my thigh.
Okay. All right. So he wouldn't see it. Doesn't matter. You have a number of tattoos that he sees, and is kind of making them out. The style of tattoos that they are is just strange to him. I think the people like that, and he points at your tattoo, the alchemical style of tattoos. Yeah, they meet. You travel north, probably 20 minutes in town, northeast sector. There are people there with shops. They sell things like you have. Your clothing and kind of. What is it? Where are you from?
Where am I from? I, I'm from a different planet, a different plane. I guess I don't know how to describe it, to be honest.
Yeah, but what is name? We have people from all over come here.
Ah, ah. The planet is Skadriel, I think, is how you pronounce it in your tongue.
Yeah, this good. Yeah, you head up, like I said, 20 minutes north, walk to town, you'll find it there.
My friend, before I leave, can you please top my bowl for my walk?
He watches as you slurp down his bowl, your bowl, and he actually pulls out a couple of chips and hands them to you, and then takes your bowl and fills it up, and kind of slaps you on the shoulder. And they both kind of like have a good laugh with each other, and he points off into the direction of where it will be. You will see it. It has signed like you on your arm.
Thank you, good man. I will be on my way. May harmony bless you.
He just kind of like gives you like a, like like smiling jokingly, but also like dismissive. Yeah, he had to peek watch us. We good.
Ah, good men. I tell. I talk to a few of you, all good men. As I give him kind of an eye for trying to rip me off, but make amends in the end, you know?
He's like, yeah,
And I was,
peeks watch you, brother, and he kind of like taps his forehead, his chest, and then like each of his shoulders, and gives you like a slight bow.
thank you. I will head into town now. And I'll wish to head toward the, where he said I could go to the north.
Yeah, so this town is not overly big, but you do notice that as you pass through, there are some areas that seem to be almost kind of situated to. Uh, I don't want to say they're like Chinatown or like Little Italy or anything like that, like you would find in Philadelphia or New York City or anything like that. But it has almost that feel to it where there are shops that you recognize some of the dialects and or the symbols of the language that are used as being off world. And as you start to walk north, you see a sign, and it's written in Scadrian, and it's pointing up to a like a small courtyard, and there's a hotel that's clearly made and built in a style that has some Scadrian influence. It's not a different building. It's not literally like a house that's built in Victorian or even the Deco style of the time that you're from. But it has some of those stylistic elements incorporated into the open air style of the Unkalaki homes. And like you see in the courtyard standing there a man sitting at a table, and in front of him there is a piece of paper that's sitting on the table that just has a sign on it written in Scadrian. It's your name. It's like a piece of paper. He's dark complected. He's tan. You see as he's tapping his fingers on the piece of paper that they have almost like a crystalline cast to them. And he has a bit of peach fuzz growing in on the top of his head. He has what looks like it was a mostly well-kept, tightly groomed beard, like a goatee, with a bit of like a 5 o'clock shadow growing in around that. And he has these deep blue eyes that are in contrast to what you're used to seeing in people with his complexion. And he looks up at you as you approach.
I was gonna, is he sitting down at like a table, essentially, then? Like,
Yeah,
almost at
it's
like a
a
restaurant?
courtyard with a bunch of open tables, and all of the other tables are empty. It doesn't appear that any other Scadrians seem to be occupying this area, and he's clearly not Scadrian at
Yeah.
all.
I'm just gonna sit down by him. I'm just gonna go, well, as I approach him, as I get right next to the table, I'm gonna sit across from him and go, Well, the survivor may bless us all. And just kind of lean back and see if he does anything with how I've approached.
Yeah, I guess he does a bit. I don't think that's really what I'm here for. Welcome to, is it Yuron? Is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah, and your tongue, fine. You're on. It's okay. I know.
I mean, your tongue is a bit thick there. Sound like one of the Unkalokis. All right, yeah. I've been here waiting for a
Fellas
little.
from another planet, I tell you.
I think
Love these fellas.
I think we know that, of course. And he kind of, you know, you can see him slide his arm, and you see the edge of his tattoo, and he kind of pulls his robe back down. It's strange. He's got what looks like some kind of almost like a ceremonial robe jacket, and then like a traveler's garb underneath of it. It's open. He has a necklace on. It's you are familiar with it being the double eye of the Almighty, which is what they worship in this culture. Um, he looks to be almost like a holy man that you would recognize from some of your teachings about this, but at the same time he also looks a bit washed up.
Oh, you come here and you preach about the survivor? Um,
We
your robe.
all right, here gone. We don't have a survivor here. It's a bit of a different situation. We have our own gods, but I don't think it's important for us to really cover that right now. Are you going to need a place to stay or sleep or do any sort of recreation before we get on the road? Because, like I've said, I've been waiting here for a bit. I'm getting a bit antsy to get on the road.
No need to rush. If you rush, mistakes will be made. But yes, I could use a change of fit. This tight leather here does not seem to fit in well. Plus, I like the style of these mountain type men. I may try out a garb, but I was gifted very few of what you would call chips, mocks,
Oh, that's all right.
glowing stones.
He kind of holds up a hand. It's all right. We'll get you set up. If you like the Unkalaki clothing, we can get that for you. You, with that complexion there, with a bit of like a grey, lightish bluish cast to you, I think, I think it would be best if we shaved your head and possibly even dyed your eyebrows or shaved them off as well, and just kind of passed you off as one of the Natin people. They are very similar looking to you, but not quite so rough. I'm not really sure how we're going to explain it, but perhaps you can say that you spent some time here. We can work on that as we go along. I'm sure you have a bit of your own identity to work with in your dossier. I'm guessing. I could be wrong.
Absolutely. And I might even learn a little bit about these Natin people. I don't sound so ignorant walking around.
Right, yeah. Most people don't speak the language either, so maybe, don't talk so much, but your accent won't be so obvious, I think. Anyway, yeah, and he passes you a few of those marks. Go ahead and pick out yourself whatever you need, some weapons, some clothing, whatever you feel like might help you fit in here a little bit better. And maybe we take the night and then we hit the road tomorrow and start heading to the Shattered Plains.
Where will I be meeting you then for this evening? I do not wish to sleep outside.
He thumbs over his shoulder and you see the building. I'm going to be staying here tonight. I picked up a room for you, so you have a place to stay. You'll get something to eat, and we'll be on the road, I suppose. I'll take care of the necessaries. All you have to do is say your name, Yuron, when you show up, and they'll get you to your room. These people here are very accommodating. The hospitality here is bar none for the rest of all of Roshar, so don't get too comfortable. Also, the weather, once you leave here, is not always so comfortable.
I'm gonna whisper over to him because I think it's a secret. You mean high storms?
He laughs out loud. Yeah, I mean high storms. They happen quite often for most of the year, and they are absolutely horrible. You won't experience them here up in the peaks. They have a bit of a shelter. But as soon as we leave here, we're going to have to... All of our travel, all of the world, you'll see, is just kind of works around them. So, anyway, make yourself comfortable. Get whatever you need, and I suppose I'll meet you here first light in the morning.
Very well. And what do I call you? What is your name?
Kind
Having
of
a
rubs
name
his chin.
to the face does work.
I'll come up with something overnight. He just kind of laughs. I think my old name has been burned. I should probably shave this beard and get rid of these robes as well. And he holds this trinket that is around his neck. Probably hold on to this, but otherwise, that's a good question. I need a new name. Maybe you can give me one from one of your people.
Absolutely. How many spikes would you like?
Spikes? Just kind of looks at you questioningly.
What I thought. Anyways, what would I ask for you if I need to see you, if I need to find you? You need to. What name have you given the people of the Glorious Peaks?
Yeah. Well, I just told them I'm an ardent. They know that I'm an ardent staying here to meet someone to help them on a mission. Spreading the word of Oronism and all that.
Very well. Ask for the local ardent. I will see you soon.
I mean, I'm probably the only other one staying in this establishment this evening. Shouldn't be too hard to see me.
I see you later then. I appreciate the coinage to make me blend in better.
Maybe you call them spheres, by the way. Some of the words you're using seem a bit strange, like these coins that you speak of. I'm not really sure what that is, but spheres.
Ah, makes more sense with the roundedness.
Yeah, the little ones are called chips. The medium-sized ones are marks, and the big ones are bromes. Probably try to remember that.
Big ones. Ah, very well. I'll be on the lookout.
I think you will. Anyway, I'm going to make my way for the evening. I'll take this opportunity to do a bit of a style change for myself as well. And then we'll be on the road in the morning.
Very well. And I'm gonna look around and see where I would like to head in town. I want to try to do what he said. I want a little more Natin look, as well as get some clothing.
Yeah, so give me a few rolls here real quick. We'll kind of expedite the process of you searching through town. Let me see real fast. I'm going to open up your sheet, take a peek at what you do and what kind of things would apply here. Do you have any like traits or features from your background that would assist in this, or anything in particular that you feel like would be relevant in this situation?
Let's see, not really. I mean, like I said, I'll definitely gravitate toward one of them larger swords I seen on the way in. I'll definitely would like to try to pick up one of those.
Sure.
And I do have heavy weapon expertise, so I will know if it's a good weapon or not. I have like a +6 in heavy weapons. So
yeah, and you're going to be starting out with your starting equipment as well. I do think that since you basically came here naked, we can handle that part. We can do that off screen. But essentially, I think right now you'd have the opportunity with the spheres that he gave you and everything else that's going on to obtain whatever starting equipment that you have decided for your character to start with. So, if you have, any sort of clothing, obviously it's going to be whatever you say it is. So it looks like you have a long sword on your sheet here. You could have it be a long sword or a great sword, whichever you prefer. If you want to change that to a great sword, you can. I think. I don't know what you're allowed to start with. I haven't looked at that, but yeah, you could get some chainmail. It looks like you have here. Actually, you know what? I think that we just kind of Anyway, don't worry about all that. Whatever it is that you're looking for, we'll make sure that we kind of wind it in to your character, but you have the opportunity to pick up these things. It looks like you have a net, a sling, and all of those sort of things would be readily available. Your uniform here, I think we could easily put that in as something very similar with the Unkalaki wear, which is almost like a kilt mixed with almost like with a Polynesian feel to it. And yeah, so you're able to obtain those clothing, the weapons that are relevant to your starting equipment, and any sort of food or whetstones, sharpening tools, and things like that. You can pick those up around town without any sort of trouble. Is there
Okay.
anything outside of that that you might be looking for? That would not be included with your starting gear.
Yes, I want to find, well, not item wise. I do want to find someone here who can maybe tell me a little bit about the Natin people. I don't need to know a lot, just like what the common people would know about a Natin, just to kind of see if I can pick up some of that, as well as trying him to come up with a reason why he is such a large Natin.
Okay.
So
So let's go for that. How about you give me a couple of things here. Give me a perception roll, okay? And that's going to account for you basically searching around town for this information. Okay. And go ahead and just verbal me what those rolls are, because I'm not going to be looking at them. I'm going to be going over a couple other things on my end here.
yeah,
So,
perception was a 17.
okay. All right. So as you're looking around town and trying to find any sort of indication, like you're looking around like, oh, wow, this is what these people look like. Do I see anyone that looks like this? And there's nobody. And, as you're walking around town, eating different foods and smelling the smells and taking in the sights, um, you know, it's it's not super busy here right now, and there's nobody that you see of that description at all. You see some people that are taller with darker skin, some shorter people that would have almost like a dark brown, almost black skin, and occasionally you'll pass a person with a strange metallic cast to their hair and golden colored skin, mixed and mingled in with all of the Unkalaki, but no one here fits that description of what you heard of for the Natin people. Give me. Let's go in here a little bit. Give me a deduction and. Let's see. Presence.
I don't see a presence on here.
Yeah, that's one of them that's on here, and I don't see it either. It's strange. Ah, there it is. You have a presence of 2. Okay. Give me a persuasion.
Deduction was a 12, persuasion was a 19.
Excellent. Okay, so as you're looking around and having conversations with people, you're a very amiable person. You're able to carry yourself and talk to people in such a way that these people are comfortable with you. You see, you feel a little bit of a kinsmanship with them. Just some of the cultural things that they're doing obviously aren't the same as what you grew up with as a child, but you feel a little bit of that same just like community that you're used to, and even a bit of the that primal savage background that you come from is hidden under this veneer of hospitality that you see all around you. But you're able to deduce through many conversations and casual, just casual conversations, that these people are a bit less common, and that no one really knows a lot about them, at least here.
Yeah, those that live on the peaks, these my people. Not in, uh, maybe mixed with these people, but other than that, now that I've got my garb and stuff, um, and I talked to Unkalaki about their large weaponries, and I'm assuming those are would be considered the great sword, right? Would you
That would be a
consider that
great
the
sword.
great
Yeah,
sword?
the large, cleaver like uh, obsidian blade that you've seen on some of them. Obviously, some of them have like different versions of it.
But
Those are the only ones that are actually like a sword, and it's pretty similar to ones that you've seen wielded by others in your culture.
yeah, I mean, outside of soaking in the fact that I really like the Ukalaki culture, I'm now wearing their garb. I'm just vibing with them. I think this place not bad. And then, little worried of the storms, though. Maybe I should head back, prepare myself for rough weather.
Yeah. So, but what you are able to find out is they live in a region that's called the Frostlands. They have a pale bluish complexion, not like any other people that you've seen anywhere other than yours. Um, and they have this hair that is almost like wool. They have white hair and white eyebrows, and you have black hair and black eyebrows. So that may throw things off a little bit. So, through some thought and your deduction here, it may be a possibility for you to claim to have half Natin heritage for your identity and to have been from the peaks.
Very well. Um, Other than that, though, I mean, other than just really enjoying this town, vibing with all of the Ukalaki, and learning all about them, I don't think my character Yurin, after his long journey, he would probably appreciate this, like walking through all of those strange things that they told me about. It's way different than I thought it was going to be. Um, I wish to know a little bit more about them, but it doesn't seem like anyone here really. They just treat them as gods. So little gods. This is incredible place. I will head back to the inn though and speak with the what did he call himself? An ardent. And I'll just head on back to the with a day well spent and enjoyed in the peaks.
Yeah. All right, and I think that really covers what we need to know, and we can kind of, if we do move forward and do a next one, we can probably do a little bit more of an exploration style travel montage. But I think that covers it. Do you have any questions or anything that you want to kind of jot down into your storyboard before we wrap things up here, wrap up the cast?
Now, I think we pretty much built everything that I'm confident in. Wayfarer culture, so just traveling.
Yeah.
Ukalaki culture, weapons.
Yeah, the Wayfarer makes sense too because the Natans are a nomadic people. Um, so, you know,
Um, Half plate. Can I say I found a half plate and switch it out with the uniform or the chain?
if that's something that you're able to start with, if that's a starting equipment that's possible for you, we can do that. And also, as we discussed before, if that's something that's not going to be, you're going to interchange often, or maybe you will only increase it, that is something that we could kind of write into, the grainy skin texture that you mentioned that you have kind of being part of the physical characteristics that you have. So,
Yeah, I would prefer not to wear the armor, but I feel like we were going to do something with buffing it, and I don't remember what we decided it was. I don't know if that's why I'm wearing the chain. Is that
yeah, I
because
mean, exactly. That's what it is. So basically,
okay?
we can increase it over time, but the only problem there is going to be, when we drop it, if you decide not to wear it, then it's going to be kind of strange because you're going to have less defense. But I think we can figure that out as we move along. But yes, I will allow you, as long as it is a possible starting equipment that you can start out with, you can grab whatever you want. But if it's not in your starting equipment, let's just leave it at that for now.
Yeah, actually, I'm just gonna leave it as no armor because I think what we discussed was having the chain as the increase of skin defense, which
Right.
I'll leave that alone. That actually sounds more probable for what I'm going for.
Yeah, like a
Um,
natural defense.
yeah, yeah, and being looking at the Ukalakis, they don't really wear chain armor. They're very much happy-going people. Might
Right.
want to put a sweater on later just because I'm cold, but that's what the uniform's for. So I got you. Yeah,
Cool.
everything should be good. I don't think we state anything outside of my character build. Let me just double check. Military life, great sword. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, so I mean, we got about a year before we can actually make this character, but I think we've got a good start up for it. So I'm happy. Anyway, if you guys, if anyone has made it this far listening, thank you, and there will be more to come. So